participant, it's only both of us. Both of us, only us.
Could you make a test? Maybe sharing your. Okay, sure. Give me permission to share my screen.
You don't have?
No, just to be sure if it's.
I will make you host. Okay. So you are hosting. You are hosting now.
I have been trying to create a set of slides using Beamer and LaTeX, but it takes much more time. It's not correct. No, but it's not.
I can see it here.
Okay, so it's correct.
Can you go through the slides? Moving. Okay, it works. I will mute my mic. Do we have this one here now?
Depends if we're going to have audience.
No, I mean, is it possible really to, it's a laptop? Stop, drag. Okay.
It's very nice. It's very useful to have here because the most interesting thing, in fact, is I realize on the possibility of seeing the next slide.
Oh, this one.
You know, sometimes when you use PowerPoint,
they should make it like this. So you can have the first here, maybe second, third. So you can have a good planning for.
Hello, good morning, welcome.
I just want to be sure that the other people are coming.
Could you please keep track of the number of students online and who they are, just to be sure how many engaged or able to join us.
Okay.
Because, you know,
They will not show. Yeah. Of course. It will be a problem because we will not touch for. We will see today, in fact.
Okay. So you are Peter. I'm sorry. Peter.
So Peter with a D instead of a D.
Yeah, but the D pronounced it as in origin, which is I'm sorry. My name is Ricardo Torres. Professor Ibrahim Hamid. Yeah, is with us. Ibrahim who's to be the coordinator of the master problem simulation visualization, and we are changing, you know, the administrative procedures, and I'm expected to run the coordination from August on, but Ibrahim will be with us in the first month to support us.
Pera, välkommen till Ida. Hej.
ikke få bruk for det. Men hvis det skjer noe, så vil jeg at alle skal ha en tante og få ulike tegn. Overblikket finnes jo for en munnbind.
Finns på munnen.
Ja. Her skulle vi komme hjem til dere to norske resten av andre. Så har vi en prosess på det nå, med å se de på videre opptak. Det kommer noen flere. Jeg skal bare si noe før det går. Jeg er instituttleder da, så nå skal jeg springe rundt på alle klasserommer og velkomme. Så det er jo et stort miljø. Det vi tenker nå når det er koronasituasjon, er at det blir viktig å integrere det også da vi som går på data og de andre studier våre, så vi føler det utenfor på en annen måte. Men det skal Ann-Kristin hjelpe til med. Så skal vi finne gode lesefasiliteter, og så har vi nå et stort lag på andre siden av gata til masterstudenter generelt. Akkurat nå så blir det å sette opp noen deler i klasserom i det arealet da. Men det skal være snart ferdig. Og uansett så blir det sånn at alle de utenlandske som stort sett sitter og har talene sine. Det er veldig spesielt. Så, men vi tar med imot de norske nordland som er her nå. Og du vet jo at det er sånn internasjonalt master, så undervisning er på engelsk, så de hoveddelen av de som går der er fra veldig mange forskjellige land. Men man trives, så nå skal jeg kjøre et kurs den semesteren her, og det er 4 nordmenn som har seg på mitt kurs, som er da kjørt på norsk. Det er ingen av de utenlandske masterstudentene som har gått på maskiner. Sånn er det. Det er litt spesielt når man går på et internasjonalt studie, så er det sånn det er. Så er det internasjonalt der. Da er det egentlig bare en av mange. Men nå har vi gjort det sånn i år da, på grunn av det smittefaret, at vi tar imot norske prosjekt. Og så regner med at du er her på campus, vi skal integrere inn blant de andre studentene så mye som mulig. Og så håper vi at vi etter hvert får se de internasjonale studentene når de kommer. Men jeg vet ingenting, jeg har ikke fått noen informasjon som jeg vet om. Vi ser at situasjonen endrer seg fra dag til dag i media. Men jeg kan forstå det, så det er ikke. Ja, jeg skulle jo ønske jeg satt masse studenter på hjemme, men det er bare sånn det er. Da gjorde jo faren min veldig lett. Ja, jeg vet ikke hvor mye jeg skal si ellers. Instituttet som du går på er en del av IE-fakultetet, det vet du kanskje. Så du får jo et litt mål med NTNU og har videre muligheter. Nå har vi i år rekruttert et par av PhD-kandidater med videre doktorgrad. Så det kan du vurdere selv etter hvert, om det kan være noe sånn. Kravet for å ta doktorgrad er at du har det i snitt. Hvis du har ambisjoner for det, så kan du allerede passe på det fra dagen, at du vil bli selv, og så gi litt tidlig signal om det, og så kan det være deilig. Så velkommen til oss.
I wonder if you could share some words in English as well. We have a set of students already online.
Okay. Sorry, I was sure.
Because they start to join us in.
Where can they see me?
They can see you. Yeah.
Okay, now you can see me.
Yeah.
Hello. My name is Anniken Carlsen. I'm head of department, and I would really appreciate to have you here in Norway today. But unfortunately, the COVID situation has made it very special. I welcomed one Norwegian student so far. I hope there will be more. But I'm glad that this is an international master program, so you are all welcome to us, and we will take good care of you online. But I look forward to having you here in person. So I wish you everything good as a master student, international master student in simulation and visualization. We have very nice facilities waiting for you.
Thank you, Anniken.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you. So Good morning, good afternoon, good evening for everyone. So my name is Ricardo Torres. I have been serving as the coordinator of the master program of simulation visualization. So on behalf of our master program, I would like to welcome you all to this welcoming session to the Upstart programs of our master course. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Professor Ibrahim Hamid, who was the former leader of this master program. He's gonna give some words later on. Also, Anne-Christine, our communication person in our department, is with us. So please be aware of her presence. Also,
student representative for the institute.
yes, so it would be very nice to hear from you so that they can know more about the student activities. Thank you for joining the session. And from now on, I would like to give you an overview about our master program. So I would like to share with you some slides. Can you see, Ibrahim? Yes? Okay. No, it's working. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about our master program. The idea here is to provide you an overview about how this program is organized, talk a little bit about the main research activities, talk and present and provide an overview about the main achievements of our master students, what kind of positions our master students are able to get after finishing the master program. So I'm going to start by talking a little bit about our staff. So we have a student advisor, we have assistant, associate, and professors involved with the master program, and it would be a great pleasure to have you here with us interacting with this team. We have professors with different expertises. All of these expertises is strongly connected with not only technologies, but concepts in the area of simulation and visualization. In this talk, I'm going to talk a little bit about what is simulation and visualization to provide you our vision about this topic. Talk a little bit about the program, provide you some useful information about guidelines, rules, and some specific. It's not been changing. Okay, good. So we're talking about the outline. And then later on, Professor Ibrahim, we're going to talk about research activities and are going to provide some final remarks. So regarding our vision related simulation and visualization. So when we talk about simulation, we see simulation as a set of technologies, a set of approaches, methods, tools, algorithms that somehow is related to the task of trying to reproduce the behavior of complex systems and somehow try to model how this system works, how the main elements of these systems interact with each other, in trying to address a specific problem. And visualization comes into the place as a set of technologies, a set of concepts that could be explored with the goal of representing and presenting data in our context related to simulation information in a meaningful and friendly way, so that we can use the information conveyed in those representations to make decisions, to understand complex phenomena, to perform actions subjected to what you have learned from this data through the visualization. We, in the context of this master program, we try to exploit simulation and visualization tasks, and under the context of different applications. This is something very important. And example of applications include medical image analysis, the construction of prediction tools, the simulation of the dynamicity related to specific applications like traffic, the movement of ships, and so on. So specifically addressing our master program, I would like to invite you all to check our webpage. You can see a very nice video about our program. I won't play this video now, but I want to share these slides later on with you in such a way that if you are not able to find the page, you can see the video. But basically, our program is a 2-year program divided in a set of courses which account for 120 study points. We have courses on different areas, including, among others, of course, courses on simulation, visualization, concepts related to computer graphics, 3D modeling, virtual reality, courses on the area of artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and feedback systems and dynamic modeling. Aniken, the head of our department, just mentioned a little bit about our facilities. I'd like to emphasize the importance of one of those facilities. Here you can see a photo of our visualization lab. Hopefully you all sometime soon will be able to run your code, run your play with the knowledge you are dealing with in the context of the course, in the context of the visualization lab. It's a well-equipped facility in which you can use to practice different technology related to the visualization using a set of projectors, augmented reality, virtual reality technologies, and so on. So I'd like to welcome you all to sometime soon to take advantage of this facility in your learning process in our master program. We envision our master program in this context. Probably, our machine learning expert, Professor Ibrahim, would put AI on top here, but I'd like to emphasize, the visualization as a front end, so I push visualization on the top. So the idea is to, given simulation being produced, which is related to the physical world, which are a specific problem in a particular area, we can exploit this data in the context of the target application using machine learning and AI tools, and what we name in the context of a virtual world. And this digital twin, this virtual environment is presented somehow by means of visualization tools. So I would say that our master program is organized, is thought by the integration of these 3 main components, as you're gonna see by its teaching matrix. So in the first year, you are supposed to, to attend courses in the area of modeling and simulation, introduction to computer graphics, introduction to simulation and visualization aspects, and basic courses on algorithms and data structures, which are very important for devising proper solutions in the area. Also, in the first year, we have one more course on graphics. So the idea is to use the basic concept learned in the first semester in order to develop more complex applications. We have courses on artificial intelligence, dynamic simulation, and experts and teamwork was very important for creating for developing such skills related to solving problems in team-based organizations. In the second year, we have one more course on data processing and visualization. You want to have the opportunity to practice and develop a specific project in the area of simulation and visualization under supervision of one of our experts. And these projects can be seen, if you want, as your first steps towards the creation, towards the development of your master thesis, which is expected to be developed in the spring of the second year. So we have students addressing different problems in their research activities. Professor Ibrahim is going to tell you more about that. But basically, examples of applications include, among others, medical technology, smart city applications, oil and gas simulation, problems related to prediction and classification in the area of finance. We have also projects focusing not only on application itself, but on the development of new algorithms for data visualization, data organization, and machine learning, like the proposal of new approach for explainable AI, explainable simulations, dealing with specific concepts in the area of machine learning, like adversarial attacks. You have some pictures related to some of the defense of 2019. Due to the Corona situation, the defense process last semester took place in a digital format, but here you have some pictures illustrating some of the defenses that took place in 2019.
We have also recorded those.
Yes, Professor Ibrahim, I'm gonna make those links available for you so that you become aware of some of more precisely about the topics covered in some of those master topics. We have high quality research activities being developed here in the context of this program. Here is just to illustrate one of those master works developed by Magnus. It was awarded as the second best master thesis in the area of artificial intelligence at NTNU. Okay, some more examples will be given, of course, during the course. I'd like to stress also our vision and the importance of developing activities well connected with collaborators and partners. And just to illustrate, we have ongoing research activities developed in cooperation with Offshore Simulation Center, with Ålesund Kommune, with Sparbanken Mora. Professor Ibrahim has a strong connection with medical applications, so we're going to talk more about that later on. But this is, the take-home message here on this slide is be aware that you'll be stimulated as much as possible to develop activities in collaboration with industry, with partners, which define very important problems in terms of simulation and visualization concepts. Some more review about our students. Some of them moved to become PhD students at NTNU. Some of them joined PhD programs in other countries, joined industry partners, or even create their own startups in the area of simulation and visualization. You have a brief set of highlights provided by some of our students, and it'd be very important for you when you are able to do so to interact with our former students, with the students in the second year, so that you create your own network and you can somehow establish your own view about the program and benefit from this view when you apply for job positions. Okay, I'd like to provide some useful information. You all will be very actively interacting with some of those systems over your stay with us in the master program. Please spend some time the next few days to access the INSEAD system. So here you have the link. Through this system, you become aware of the latest news, announcements, rules being defined in the context of the university, but and also you can access to very important information about administrative and academic issues concerning the university. So it's a very important system. Please take some time to play with this system as soon as possible. As a student, probably you're going to interact with with those in charge of the master program in the, I would say, daily activities of the courses through the Blackboard system. So through the Blackboard, probably you're going to have access to learning materials. You're going to have access to a set of technologies used at NTNU for teaching and learning activities. So if you have time, take a look on the Blackboard system and try to play a little bit in the next few days. I would like also to highlight some information about some services available in the context of NTNU organization. Some links are provided over there. Please check those links later on. Finally, one thing that is very important given our current situation, not only in Norway, but in the whole world, there are a lot of guidelines, policies, recommendations, courses, and plenty of information about how NTNU manages issues related to the corona outbreak. So please be aware of this website. You're probably going to receive, over the next month, a lot of messages about new guidelines, new procedures that could be adopted. And please be free to contact us, but also try to follow some of those news through this website. Finally, some contact information. Most of you were able to see some words, or to hear some words from Anniken Carlsen, who is the department head. My name is Ricardo Torres. Please send messages regarding issues about the program. Professor Ibrahim will be supporting me, as previous coordinator of this program, and will be glad to address your demands as soon as possible. Regarding administrative procedures, I'd like to point you to the Annalisa Grande, who is responsible in the context of our department about all procedures related to your academic life. So please don't hesitate to contact her if you have any questions regarding that. I would like now to invite Ibrahim to talk a little bit about our research activities in the context of IIR. As a higher education master program in world-class university, we also stimulate our students to develop activities and projects well connected with research and state-of-the-art approaches. So I'd like to pass my word to Ibrahim so that he can talk a little bit about it.
Thanks a lot, Prof. Ricardo. Should I use my computer or?
Yes, I think it's stop sharing.
Okay. So hello everybody. So it's your computer. Hello everybody, my name is Ibrahim and I'm working at Department of ICT and Natural Science, and I will be assisting Professor Ricardo in the next period, maybe until Christmas. And I will talk about research, but I want first to share with you the video which Professor Ricardo want to show. So just, okay, why? I cannot share my screen. Just a second. Okay. Okay, I shared a link with you for our study program, but also maybe we can run this video for our study program. This video have it in the first page. I mean, all people in this video, in fact, they are our former students. So in fact, in our study program, we are working in many different areas. We have two main research groups in our department. We have one research group called Cyber Physical System, and we have another group called the Digital Transformation. And all research activities in our study program, in fact, it's connected with one of those two groups or two teams. We are also very well connected with local industries in the region who are working with many companies. And as Professor Ricardo mentioned in his last slide, we have lots of companies involved with us. And we prefer that each master thesis, in fact, or each specialization project should be connected with a company. So it's highly recommended to be part from a research group or to try to solve a problem for a company. So I will share my slides. Okay. So my name is Ibrahim, and I'm working as a Deputy Head of Research and Innovation at the Department of ICT and Natural Science, who are located in Holosund NTNU has 3 campuses. The main campus is in Trondheim, and 1 campus in Ålesund, and another campus in Gjøvik. In our research, if you go to the first page in our department, you will see this one. So in fact, you can just go to research, for example, if you want to find more about research. And in our research here, we have 2 main research groups, one called the Cyber Physical System Lab, and the other group called the Digital Transformation Lab. In Cyber Physical System Lab, we try to focus on autonomous ship and also practical needs, which is important for the maritime industry. In Digital Transformation Lab, we are working in many different areas also. We are working in visualizations, in simulations, in enterprise modeling, in social robots, and in many different areas related to artificial intelligence and machine learning. So this is a page for Cyber Physical System Lab. Cyber Physical System Lab, it has the head of the lab is my colleague Robin Bay, and the maritime coordinator is Dr. Olsen, and the medical coordinator is William. In the Digital Transformation Lab, we are working also in many different areas. For example, we are working in digitalization of systems and processes, simulation and visualization, transforming businesses and business models, the social robots with elderly, digital twins, digital economy, project management, enterprise modeling, and so on. So in fact, we are covering many different areas. And the head of Digital Transformation Lab is Professor Ricardo. Under this lab, in Digital Transformation Lab, we have a group called the social robots. And in social robots, we try also to use different types of robots. We use paper robot, we use now robot, but also in fact, we are building our own robots. So we have a very good PhD student who joined us last March, and he is working in this area. We have a digital transformation project, and we have another PhD student from Department of Science. They are working together for building systems which can be used in daily life in nursing homes to assist nurses and professionals who are working in care facilities to provide good services to old people. And also, we try also to help old people to have better life conditions, especially in this COVID situation, for example. So the research activities in our department, in fact, it's just divided into those 2 main groups, cyber physical system and the digital transformation. In cyber physical systems, they are working in Maritech and the Medtech. So in Maritech, they are working in autonomous ships, and they are part now from a big SIMVIS project in Trondheim, and they have number of PhD students, number of postdocs. They have many bachelor and master students working and assisting them in their research. And they publish, they are very good, they are very active in publication, in fact. So in the future, for example, if you want to do a specialization project or working in your master thesis, you can start by selecting one of those groups, or you can go to a company and bring a company in port, and after that we can find a local supervisor from one of those 2 research groups. In digital transformation, we are working in social robots, we are working in simulation and visualization, we are working in digital business. In digital business, we have some PhD students working in TAFT Lab. We have very good collaboration in TAFT Lab. And the TAFT Lab, it's an initiative which is funded by Sparabank and Mora, and it's at the Department of International Business. So we try to use tools from machine learning, artificial intelligence, to make predictions and machine translation, for example, and so on in international business. So we try to predict, we try to assist people also who are working in this area to predict things, to use technology to make life much easier. So we are working in welfare technology, in digital twin. In digital twin, for example, we are working with offshore simulation center for building a digital twin for Ålesund, for example, and try to predict what will happen in the future, for example, or what kind of infrastructure which we need, how can we test those infrastructures, and so on. So, for example, if we need to build a new tunnel, if we need to build a bridge, is it really useful for people? Will people like it? And so on. So it's like feasibility study using a digital twin. We are working also in several projects in machine learning and big data and in visual computing. We have number also of PhD students, number of postdocs, and we have several master students and bachelor students working with us. I mean, a master student, he can work with us in a specialization project in autumn, and he can extend this specialization project into his master thesis in the spring. So it's really very important. And the idea for the specialization project, because before, I mean 1 year before, we don't have this specialization project, so people can work for 1 semester in their master thesis, but we find out that it's hard to really make good work in 6 months, and we prefer that people can start early in autumn, prepare for their master thesis, and extend this topic into their master thesis. So the specialization project is 15 study points, and the master thesis is 30 study points. So in total, it's 45 study points out of 120. So in fact, most of the work is practical, and we try to encourage people to work more in practical stuff. So, and it's in the second year, and we have very good facility in NTNU in the other side of the road. We got a very good lab last year from the dean, and we prepare it now. Maybe next week it will be ready for teaching, so people can just sit there and start working. So the CBS lab, they are working in autonomous ships, robotics, and virtual surgery, virtual prototyping, and computer automated designs. I've been working with them in this. For example, it's like a digital twin also. For example, we've been developing crane, or we help to automate the crane design, for example. So it's like a digital twin, because this process, it takes too much time from human designers. So the idea was to use artificial intelligence and optimization algorithm, and try to automate the design process. So instead of some people who are sitting and trying to fit parts together, we can use an optimization algorithm to try to make this process automatically and faster. Digital transformation. As I mentioned, we are working in digital banking, finance, machine learning, and the big data analytics, enabling technology for new business models, social robots with learning. Not only, in fact, learning, also it's with kids, with autism, and for education, because it's a platform, and this platform you can use it in many different applications. Chatbots in business and healthcare, digital twinning, 3D, 4D, and augmented reality, virtual reality, immersive technology, and so on. So in fact, we are working in very good area. Smart city, we have a PhD student who is working in a smart city, and she was working in her master thesis in smart city also. She was working with Oron company in Olson and Rear in Malta for building a system for waste management. How can we optimize collections and of waste management to make it cheaper and more friendly for environmental friendly. We have good collaboration with the Taft Lab, and we have facilities. We have simulation and visualization theater, and also now we have our own lab in NTNU. So all our students will be sitting in NTNU, not here. And in NTNU, the place, it's divided into 2 sections. One section for teaching, it's like a classroom, and the other part will be a working place for students. So you can just have your computer and sit there and work for the whole day, which will make it more efficient, and it will be nice because people can communicate with each other first year and second year, and they can help other and assist each other. And we've been trying to do this so we can have, because before people were scattered everywhere, but when we have this facility, we will be sure that people will sit together, work together, and also it will give a chance for people to be closer to the companies which are located in NTNU, because we are working very closely with offshore simulation center. So just to go down for 2 floors, you will meet people from offshore simulation center, Ecopay, and so on. And in the same floor, we will be part from United for Smart City Lab, which is very, very important. So for those who are working in a smart city, for example, you will be in the same floor with the people from Olson Dokumon and United for Smart City Lab, which is very good opportunity, in fact. Also in that place, also they provide teaching all-time courses, workshops. So it will be really very inspiring for our students to attend those workshops. So we selected this place, in fact, to be in the same level and to be in close contact with the people in United for Smart City Lab. And also, I guess, innovation on the way also, they have a place in the same floor. So for people who want to work in the future for startups and stuff like this, I guess it will be a very good opportunity for them. So it's a very, very unique place, in fact. Our research strategies, I mean, those are the research strategies of our faculty. In fact, our IE faculty are working in IoT, artificial intelligence, data science, autonomous systems, digital twins, digital enterprise, cybersecurity, mathematics, energy efficient computing, small satellites, and digital electrical energy. Those are the main research areas or strategic research areas of our strategy. And if you can see here, we are working with almost 50% of those strategic research areas. So for example, in digital transformation lab, we are working in IoT. We have several master theses in IoT, artificial intelligence, data science, digital twins. She is teaching a course in digital economy. And there's other group, cyber physical system labs, they are working heavily in systems and also in artificial intelligence, data science, and so on. So we'll try to cover those areas and we'll try to really be unique in those areas. So we'll try to provide something useful. In each master thesis, as I mentioned, it must be in connection with a company. So it's very highly recommended to be in close contact with a company. We bring the companies to the department here. We make workshops, we invite them, and also we go for trips usually. I mean, we go one time per semester at least to visit some companies and try to search for problems to solve and try to provide something useful, in fact, for those local community and companies. And it's useful for networking for our students. So many students, in fact, they got jobs by working with those companies. They can get also part-time jobs because some companies, they have problems and they want people to help and solve those problems. So it's really very, very useful to visit those companies and try to build your own network because it will be really very useful in the future. It will be useful for jobs and it will be useful also for selecting a task for your master thesis and specialization project. So, I will not go into details because people are working. I mean, for example, in CBS labs, they are working with also on the hospital. They have a lab there. They build robots for with 6 degrees of freedom and the force sensors to try to test shoulders and stuff like this. We have one PhD working there, and they are writing very good publications. In fact, we have also some master students have been working with them. For example, this one, it's with MR Clinic, it's a company. And we have Shalenga, he is 20% professor, he is working with us for 20%. And he is the leader of MR Clinic, or owner of MR Clinic. And they are using machine learning for medical image segmentation. We had maybe four master students have been working in this project, and they developed a very good production, in fact. And it could be a commercial tool. And they published very, very good publications, in fact, from this work. So they are working, they learn machine learning. We have high performance computers, and they are working in this problem, which is really very, very important. Some of those students now they are doing their PhDs in Oslo and in Germany and so on. So in fact, they learn a lot from working with companies and working in real problems, because in these problems, we start from scratch. We collect the data, we try to segment those images manually and build machine learning for doing it automatically in a very short time. And after that, we build a 3D model for any. And when you build a 3D model for any, you can train doctors before going into operations and so on. So in fact, it's really very, very useful. In social robots, we are working with Harald Nursing Home, or Omsorgscenter. And we try to use robots to assist people who are working there, and also to help people to have better life quality in nursing homes. And you know, in this COVID situation, this group is at high risk, so we'll try to protect them. And at the same time, we'll try to make them connected with family and doctors and nurses and so on. So we'll try to build the technology to achieve this goal. As I mentioned, we use paper robot, we use now robot, and also this year we will build our own robot. We have a very good PhD student who joined us in March, and some of the master students will be working with him from the second year. They are working with him in their specialization project. So it's in social robots. I mean, some people are supporting it, some people don't support it. So for example, it was an article, and they just say night up till roboter elderly care something. So some people like it, some people don't like it, but this is how it is. So this is one example from one master thesis last semester. It's IoT platform for waste management. We have one master student. She was working in this project, and it's a project with also the Commune, and it was funded by Norwegian Research Council. and she has been working for developing this platform for waste management and waste collections. So we have dustbins distributed around the city. Some of those dustbins have sensors. We collect the data. We train machine learning to predict when a dustbin will be filled up, and when it's filled up, we will collect it. So in this case, we don't need, in fact, at the moment, they just go through all those dustbins. They collect it regardless of the amount. So the idea here is to just collect the one which need to be collected. So in this case, we can save money and time, and also we use optimization algorithm to find the optimum trajectory for collection. It could be, we use multi-objective and single objective optimization as a single and multi-objective optimization problems. And we have some KPIs. We try to minimize driving distance, driving time. We try to maximize the volume to be collected. We try to minimize the cost and so on. So it's an application where we use IoT optimization algorithm and also visualization, because we need to visualize this problem to the drivers, for example, and users. At the end, I will just talk about our lab facility at NTNU. We have this lab in NTNU. It's maybe 75 square meters or something. And the lab, as you can see, it's divided into, it will be ready by next week, because this week we are building those walls. So we have one area for teaching, and this area, this one will be office, maybe for some PhD students or some master students. And this area will be for teaching, and this area will be the working area. So we will have some sofas here and some desks. We try to get furniture like a home, so you'll feel that you are relaxed. So you will be sitting here and working in your specialization project. You're sitting here in your free time, working in your home assignments and so on. And it's a nice place because it's in the 6th floor, and it's the same place, the same level with the United for Smart City Lab. We'll be close to companies. We'll be in close contact with those people, because I mean, this is maybe, it's a very important place. And also, in fact, it will help you to be more connected with companies and key players in the area of technology. Yeah. Yes, we have, as Professor Ricardo mentioned, we have very good collaborations with many companies. We have some students who have been working with Staten Vivacent, for example. So they have been developing systems for predicting cracks in roads using machine learning and machine vision. Several with Olosondo Common, Vello, IntraWork, Arena for Learning, or welfare technology, right, and social robots and so on. So MR Clinic, NMCO, Spara, we did one master thesis there, and we have one who is working there right now, Spara Bank, Mora, Kurum, and RIR. We had a project with them. Telenor, Taft Lab, AI Lab in Trondheim, and so on. So in fact, also, I mean, offshore simulation centers, the health somewhere in Musdal. So in fact, in each master thesis, in each specialization project, we try to bring a company. It's very, very important. You can bring your company by yourself, or we can assist you to bring those companies. But anyway, each year, we get maybe 30 to 35 tasks from companies. So they have problems. We ask them, we contact them, in fact, to prepare problems. So they define problems which need some help, and we present those problems to the students, and each one is free to select a problem to work with. So in this case, we are sure that people are doing something which is really important for the society, and not just working for doing an nice thesis, but it's very important to try to solve a problem for a company. It will help you to be more connected. It will help you to learn more knowledge and skills to assist people in the future. Just after finishing your getting your grade, it should be easy to get a job. If you want to work in a company, or if you want to work in academia, it will be also easy. We have all our students who have many. We had one student last year who got a very nice PhD position in France, who was working in a museum in Paris. What is the name of the museum in Paris? Louvre. Yeah, he got a PhD position in Louvre. So he is visualizing something there. It was very good. He was working, in fact, in machine learning and the machine vision, and he got this position. And maybe he started his PhD, in fact, before getting his grade from here. Because they saw his thesis, he got a good recommendation letter from the department. So he is working in a very, very good project, in fact, and attractive project in Louvre. We have some PhDs who are working in Australia. We have some PhDs who are working in Germany. We have many PhDs now in our department and in Trondheim and in Oslo, in fact. So you can just say that 50% to go to academia and 50% to go to jobs in companies. And we wish to continue in this. And also we wish to encourage people also to create their own startups and try to create jobs for other people, not only for yourself, but for others. Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you very much for your attention. And we will meet again at 9:15.
Yeah. And,
Emily, do you like to say something, please?
I think it's good. You can just
use. Okay.
My name is Emil, and you will be contacted if needs that you don't feel comfortable with asking any of the staff, or in general, just ask me if you have problems that you are wondering about. And I'm also part of our student association, which is called Epsilon. Right now, we don't really have much going on because of Corona, but earlier we had different kinds of stuff happening. So one of the things that we try to do a lot of is inviting businesses, inviting them to talk to the students, and which will usually be, we go to their where they work and we see what they do, and they tell us a little bit about their business, and then they invite us for a place to eat where there's free burgers and beer, which is really popular. And earlier semesters we had one with a developer company, which was called Avento, which had a really nice place. And then we were also scheduled to do it with Atea, which has one of the labs, or supported in building one of the labs in NTNU, and then which we're also supposed to have Kongsberg, which is also a company which you will see a lot of at NTNU. So we're always on the hunt on having the students meet companies which you are going to meet eventually. But also having a good society between students is really important. So we will also arrange just pure fun stuff, like having dinners. And we had, at the end of the last semester, we had we had a tapas dinner where we just rented a local place, and yeah, just people meeting up to have fun, just to take a break from the normal student day. And yeah, that's basically it. So once everything opens, and especially you international students can come back to Ålesund, there will be a student organization waiting to keep you guys together. Okay. Okay.
We have 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like just to remind you all about the whole program for this week. So in a few minutes, Ibrahim, we're gonna give his lecture about introduction to neural network concepts and examples. Tomorrow morning, tomorrow Norwegian time, I'll be with you to talk a little bit about computer graphics and concepts and some applications. before that, please join the mandatory course in Blackboard and Student Web that will take place today, later. And on Friday, Salah Alayat gonna talk a little bit about Unity 3D to provide an overview about this technology that will be very important in our programs, okay? Some of you were not able to see the first part of the presentation. I will address this presentation again tomorrow morning so that you don't miss anything, okay? Thank you very much for your attention. Maybe we should make a break, 10 minutes break?
Yes, we will take 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yes, so we're gonna make a break, 15-minute break, and Professor Ibrahim will give his lecture later on. See you then. Thank you.
I have recording, so maybe I will upload it, share.
Okay.